Good morning, happy Easter, and with Passover almost over, Shalom. Welcome to Inside Jacksonville. I'm Melody Hopkins.
And I'm Andrew Patoshnik. We're here each month with stories about life on the First Coast.
On the agenda for today, all of us, each other.
Today we explore human relations, how we treat each other.
We don't even spare those two dinner table no-nos, religion and politics.
Politics is a part of today's first story. One of the big political debates in this country is how to treat people who are here illegally. While it's a political problem, it's one with a human face. Margie Castro spent some time with one such family.
This is what it's like to hide in plain sight. This family can be like most other families. The husband, we'll call him Bill. It's an illegal alien. If he gets caught, he'll be deported back to his home country. Even though his wife, we'll call her Mary, is a citizen born in the United States. That threat of deportation hangs over their heads every day. That's why we can't show you their faces or give you their real names. That's also why they're always on edge.
No lo voy a negar, en vez sí me da miedo de que van a agarrar, pero como yo le he dicho a mi esposa, pues si me agarran, me agarraron y saber qué pasa, pero decirle a ella no hay que salir porque me da miedo, no, nunca.
But their lives really aren't normal. He can only work menial jobs with subcontractors. He has no health care or other benefits, and he can't drive, which means Mary has to do all the driving.
I've actually got pulled over with him in the car. It was so ironic that they only told me your driver's license and registration. But as soon as they saw him, your ID, what's your name, where are you from, what relationship do you have towards her? Like all these questions just to him.
It is not an easy way to live, but he does it because he says there's no opportunity in his home country.
Ahorita que tengo familia es lo que me motiva. Y ahora en mi punto personal el pensamiento es, cuando uno tiene familia ya, tiene que hacer lo imposible por tratar de salir adelante, sea como sea.
The children are just 7 and 8 years old, but even they know their lives are different.
They know that he's not legal, but they're kids. They really don't understand. They know he's from another country. They understand in their own way and in their own little world.
Jacksonville is actually the worst place they can be in Florida.
4 years ago, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office took advantage of a federal program that allows local officers to arrest suspected illegal aliens and turn them over to federal authorities. In other words, Jacksonville police officers can act as immigration agents. Jacksonville is the only city in Florida that applied for that program. We asked JSO for a comment. We're still waiting for a response.
Carlos Ramos is with the Jacksonville branch of the ACLU, which opposes the program.
The main concern that we have is that it doesn't really protect the community because it creates distrust in the Hispanic community by knowing that local law enforcement officers are engaging in immigration work at the same time.
Mary says that if her husband was legal, they will see big changes in their lives.
It's being able to buy a house, being able to have a place to call our own, for him to be able to drive everywhere, without me having to wake up early and taking him. That's one of the main reasons my kids don't play soccer or have activities. I work late, but he gets off early. So my daughter will finally be able to go into cheerleading and my son to soccer, like they've always wanted to. I can't wait until that happens.
Until then, all this family can do is hope. Hope for a comprehensive immigration reform, and hope Bill doesn't get caught. Margie Castro, Inside Jacksonville.
The sheriff's office got back to Margie after our deadline, saying no one could do an interview about the agreement with the federal government for at least a couple of weeks.
Most people will tell you that they are sick and tired of the relationship between two particular segments in the country, the relationship between our two major political parties.
Anna Koskowski joins us here in the studio with that. Anna?
That's the one thing everybody agrees on. They're all tired of everybody being disagreeable. The basis of a two-party system is to have opposition, so good solutions can emerge. Problem is, solutions aren't emerging.
Let me tell you what we can all understand. Republicans are doing what Senate Democrats have not done in years. We will pass another budget.
The Republican budget, sometimes called the Ryan budget, also called the Path to Prosperity, is really more of the same.
Instead of reaching a final compromise on critical issues, politicians seem to be reaching mini deals to avoid crisis, leaving Washington on a treadmill.
3 years ago, I haven't seen it as bad as it is.
Bob Costantini is a reporter for NBC Radio News. He's been covering Washington politics for nearly a quarter of a century. During an interview over Skype, Costantini says the budget crisis is behind it all.
What is driving most of the polarization that you see in Washington now is the idea of the budget battles, the huge deficits the country has been running up, and now the 14, 15, 16 trillion dollars in who you ask. So that's most polarization.
You are more reptile than man, George. So low and flat that the foot of man is incapable of crushing you. How dare you!
Now! The Civil War era was the last time political partisanship has been so bad in Washington. Political consultant John Daigle says the seeds of today's hyperpartisanship were sown more than 20 years ago, when lawmakers redrew district lines to protect their own seats.
If you look back to 1992, there were more than 100 what we would consider swing districts, congressional districts. Today there's about a little bit over 30. What's happened over the last 2 decades is the parties have worked very hard, mostly to protect incumbent elected officials, to gerrymander districts so that the real contest is won or lost in the primaries.
The media has also evolved over the past generation, with many more sources for news. UNF communication professor David Dealey says that means many people never even hear other opinions.
Well, part of the problem now is that because there are so many outlets across media, that you can actually pick things that are very targeted to what you already believe in or agree with, so that there's very little even intrusion of any opposing view or any alternative view.
There's also the influence of social media. John Daigle, the political consultant, says blogs, tweets, and Facebook are anything but objective. Melody and Andrew?
Thanks, Anna. Did anyone you spoke with have any hope of things getting better?
They did. When I spoke with Daigle, he mentioned that New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is going over to the Democrat side, and he's really trying to work with them. And he doesn't care what Republicans or Democrats think. Back to you guys.
We've all seen people flying by us when driving down the road. Coming up after the break, what happens when bad situations get worse?
Also in America, we're guaranteed the freedom of religion, but some believers say that freedom's being challenged.
And later, the closest relationship of all, mother and baby. Stick around, we're coming right back.